not beating Steph in a series. Sorry.
Had the odds against us. We had Draymond and his CTE. We had Kerr not putting out the right lineups and to close that shit, and then the rest. But I'm glad we were able to bring it out, bro. I mean, we scored 126 against the best defense in the league, so I'm not really too worried about it. I really wish that we kept at least a 25-point lead or something because we did. It was 30 at a point, and then Steph had to hit a dagger, but I
It's
live.
okay, man. We don't get extra positioning for blowouts.
Yeah, I know.
We're 8-2, 4-1 in the road trip, 7 road games out of 10 since the season started.
I would have
We're
loved for us to
Gucci.
cover it. Yeah, I'm looking at the defensive rating shit. I would love for it to go back up, but whatever. So long as we win, I could
No,
care
that's
less.
fine. That's fine. We won by double figures, so it's fine.
Yeah, the net rating would be fine, but the defensive rating I was talking about.
I feel I feel great about this performance tonight because in those two quarters, the second and the third, held them to 25, held them to 21. They were locked in into those two quarters. But uh, you know, what I like with this team is that we can go big and we can go small, right? So when Chet unfortunately got hurt, you saw, they took TJD out. Looney didn't even touch the court tonight, and they just played small the entire time. So it was pretty much Kyle and Draymond. And you see when you have Kyle and Draymond, how much bigger they look. You got Kyle and Draymond, and you see how much bigger than OKC they look. Yeah, so that was a
Like,
great outcome tonight, man.
I mean, Wiggins really should be in an all defensive team. Shea shot what
Yeah,
6 of 17, but they gave that bitch ass nigga 14 free throws, bro.
yeah.
God, man, they helped that nigga so much.
Hey, go. And speaking of
Also Melton was also an unsung hero tonight because he also took turns on Shea.
Yeah,
It wasn't just Wiggins.
I think
speaking
the
of
lineup
Bro,
that we
speaking
closing.
of Shea, like his new nickname going forward from now is Shea Griftis Alexander.
bro, it's wicked, man. It's
Nasty, bro.
absolutely wicked.
It's nasty,
God
man.
dang, man, this is worse
Like,
than Harden, bro. Goodness gracious.
but
It's
hey,
actually
you know
wild.
what? You know what I will take?
And
Two
people
of
are
one.
wondering why ratings are down.
Yeah.
Bro,
Well, you know what I will take? Two of
so
one
so
against the
I
best
watched
in
I
the league.
watched Shea. So him and Wiggins were hip to hip, right? And the NBA made a point of emphasis that the defender can't, like, there's like an imaginary line that you can't cross.
The defender is entitled to that sort of horizontal
Yeah,
space,
so I
essentially.
seen Shea
Not when it
drift
involves the
over,
Warriors, though. That
bro,
shit is
bro,
apparently outlawed against the Warriors.
bro. I seen Shea drift over and throws a forearm. I'm like, what? And he got a foul for that?
Like there were inbounding plays. GP2 is playing Shea close. He just
Yeah,
gets a foul because he starts to drive. Like, what am I watching, man? That shit is so nasty.
that's actually pretty silly, man.
That's why
Pretty silly.
OKC will never be none. And I
But
hope they don't
hold on,
promote
hold
him.
on, hold on, hold on, Glorious. But here's the thing about this. Um, we're what, 8-2? We just beat the Rockets. So the Rockets right now, as I'm looking at it, they're a +4 team. We just beat the Boston Celtics. They're a +10 team. We just beat OKC before tonight.
Hello. Hey,
So we just beat OKC, who was a +15 team. So that's where we're at tonight. You know what I'm saying?
TJ is not a real human being, man. Good shit,
I
bro.
was about to
Yeah,
ask, like, was that TJ that I just heard?
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So here we
Anyway,
are.
I mean, we just went on the three best teams in the NBA. The
Come on,
Celtics.
man. Y'all ain't fucking impressed by this, bro. Four and
Dude,
one on
it
the
was
road.
this is
I'm
super
impressed.
impressive.
Come on, bro.
Mind,
Y'all ain't
mind
impressed by
you,
this.
This
The
is
mind
three
you,
best
Well,
teams in
I'm
the
just
league
more
just
impressed
went
that
2-1.
Hold on,
I'm
hold on,
just
hold on.
I'm more impressed because this all happened on the road too.
No, 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 no. We're a fucking championship team, dog. That's Boston,
Erg,
yep,
Houston, and
yep.
OKC. What
Well,
the
you
fuck
just
are we
proved my
talking about?
Urkel, you
Erg,
just proved my point. championship teams win on the road because it's easier to win at home.
Hey,
Winning on
Erg,
the road is what I am more
hey,
important.
mind you, bro,
And what is
hey,
more important.
mind you, outside of that first half in Cleveland, bro, that second half we were able, we died it down. You know, that shit. I don't think that would ever happen again.
Hey,
I don't think that's us.
Erk,
That was a fluke.
these boys got to win 15 more games, Erk, for people to say that they're a contender, bro.
That that ass, bro. Real Bruce, we gotta win every game by 30+ points and win 60 games for these niggas to believe us.
Hey,
No,
Eric.
No,
no,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no, no.
Here's a better example. The Warriors have to apparently play anybody equivalent to the strength of the full power Boston Celtics, otherwise they're frauds.
Exactly, bro. They were just struggling the other night against Brooklyn, but nobody said nothing.
They have to play those type of teams for 70+ games straight, or else they're frauds.
I don't know, man. Bro, we're 8-2.
But
Hold on.
meanwhile,
No. We're 8-2, and we just beat two of the best teams in the league. What are we doing here?
Yes.
But meanwhile, you got other teams
Man.
that are losing to bum ass teams and think they are actually shit for some
We
reason.
just dropped 126 points on the best defense in the league, bro.
I'm not gonna lie though, these niggas had me scared, bro. They was doing some shit. I was like, all right, bro, what are we doing?
Like, we just had the hardest 3-game stretch ever, and we went 2-1 against the top 3 teams in the NBA. I have nothing to be disappointed about.
Let's see other teams do that.
They won't. And the teams that are calling us frauds
Exactly.
won't
So I'm
do it
wondering,
either.
why are they even talking?
I don't understand like Warriors fans being quiet. It's like, bro, y'all operate on the same.
No, Lee. Do you know why they're quiet? Because they were fucking wrong. Be excited for your team. The Mavericks are playing right now. The Mavericks aren't your team.
Right.
What are we doing here?
Right.
No, man.
The Mavericks is not your team.
The Mavs are actually kind of whack right now too. They're actually
mean,
pretty whack.
No. The Mavericks aren't your team. The
remember
Warriors are
when-
winning. Why aren't you more excited? Oh,
Remember
because
when
you were
people used to get,
wrong?
remember when people used to get gassed out guarding Clay? Well, not anymore, because guess what Clay does? Sit in the corner for Luka Doncic, and he'll get more
The
open looks.
Bahamian had a beautiful
The
dunk, man.
excitement.
Root for your
Where
team.
It was beautiful.
man?
Kuminga had 20
Why?
points and
Because you
5
were
rebounds.
wrong? No. Hop on board.
Hey, Erk, I don't know about that Shadow dude and that Urkel dude. They're so optimistic. What are they optimistic for? This team isn't competing.
No. Not because the Jamaicans were right. No. Come on, man. The Jamaicans were right. It's okay. Come to Jamaica. Support the tourism. I'll hook you up. Come on, man. You're not excited. Nobody is excited. Come on, man. You thought the Jamaicans were going to be wrong? No, the Jamaicans aren't wrong. No.
Hashtag pick a side.
No, the Jamaicans aren't wrong. Come on, man. You doubt Steph, you bozos. Come on. You're wrong. Defense plus Steph equals a championship. Fuck that second option shit. Defense and Steph. Defense and Steph. Defense and Steph. Defense and Steph. Write it on a fucking chalkboard, whiteboard, whatever, over and over again. That's your punishment. Defense and Steph. Defense and Steph. Defense and Steph. Defense and Steph. That's all it's going to take. That's OKC. We couldn't beat that team, right? Come on, man. Where's the excitement? You were wrong. It's okay.
Wrong and strong.
I don't really care for them coming back. For all I care, keep being Mavs fans. That shit don't mean nothing to me, bro.
Come on, man. Where's the excitement? I need the excitement, man.
Dude, we
We
here.
weren't gonna make the plan, right? Come on, man. That's OKC. They were damn near down 30. So they chopped off 17 points of the lead. It happens.
It is
We
what
won
it is,
by
man.
11.
We won.
It happens.
We won.
Bro, 30-point leads are nothing nowadays, man. I don't know why people are so like, oh my god,
Come
they
on,
blew a 30-point
man.
lead. Dude,
I
it's
mean,
been happening
Defense and
all
Steph.
league wide. Are you guys watching the league right now? Like, people
Hear
are
me out.
blowing 20-plus point
Defense,
leads, 30-plus point leads all the time.
defense, and Steph and GP2. What's going on, Ebony?
What's up, Ebony?
Hi, well, I guess I just wanted to come up on stage. I'm sitting here with an OG Warrior fan. He was sitting courtside in the 70s with my dad. It's his birthday today. And so yeah, I'm just happy. I was seeing y'all going off on the Mavs, and I just want y'all to know how OG Warrior fan operates. Dad, did you say you want to beat a certain someone on Tuesday?
Beat the pants off of Captain Clay.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to come up here and
Yes,
say that.
sir.
Tell him
Uh-oh.
happy birthday, Ebony. Happy birthday,
Hey,
sir.
happy birthday, sir.
Appreciate y'all. I
Happy
love y'all.
birthday
Y'all are
to
amazing.
Oh, happy birthday.
fantastic experience.
OG, and no
Tell the
sentiment,
OG happy birthday.
no nostalgia, no
Come on,
nostalgia.
man. Let's go, man.
Be
Jim
happy for
Park.
your
Jim
team.
Park. Jim Park. People aren't excited, man. Come on, man.
What's going on? Why are they not excited? How can
They're
they
not
not be
excited.
excited?
We're
No, the
8-2,
fan base not
four and one
Because
on the
they
road
excited.
are
trip. Nobody's
because they're scared
excited.
of being wrong, Jim.
Jim, the
They
Warriors
thought
are
this
not a
team was
contender, man.
ass.
The team is not a contender, Jim Park. That's the reason why a lot of the fans aren't excited. The team is a playing team, Jim Park. How say you in my urban
Guys,
voice?
let me see
Hey,
this. Let me see this,
hey,
bro.
hold on, Jim.
Yeah,
Before
go
you
ahead.
go, you feel that thing in your throat right now? Just get some
Oh,
water and swallow. That's you being wrong. That's the ball that's stuck. That's the guilt. The guilt of you not trusting.
Big ball.
The guilt of you not trusting Steph Curry.
Big balls.
Hold on, Urkel. Tell him to
Drink
clear
some
the throat like
water.
this. Go.
Wash it down. Wash it down. That thing that
Goddamn.
you feel in your throat. Come on, wash it down. That's you being wrong.
not the
Wash it down with some water. Come on, man.
not the tingling.
It's okay. We're all wrong sometimes.
Hey,
8-2. That's Boston. That's Houston. That's OKC. Come on. It's
Curry,
okay. Second option. No, you're wrong. Steph Curry don't need no fucking second option. He's Michael Jordan and some.
Oh my god.
I like that.
Second option. No, he's Steph Curry.
He even
Defense, Steph. Jim Park, tell him. Defense, Steph.
Hey, go ahead, Jim.
Steph Curry is an offense by himself, and when you put elite defenders around him, well, I haven't seen that fail the Warriors. The problem these days is that they're having some trouble figuring out what are the most viable, the most elite closing lineup is, right? And it looked a little bit, scary a little bit for a moment there. But just to talk about Steph Curry a little bit, right? I mean, 36.7 assists. I mean, forget the numbers for a second. Like, the guy on the ball is the scariest fucking thing on the planet. Right. I've been trying to convey this message for years and years and years, and people keep arguing that, oh, off the ball, Steph Curry is more dangerous than Steph Curry on the ball. Give me a break. The other team is shitting in their pants. They're scared shitless of this guy going off, because once he gets going, there's no stopping him. So now that's when they start trapping him, right? Because they can't fucking stop him, and they have to do something to slow him down. So what do? They trap him, right? And then the team, as long as you have good decision makers, know how to cut at the right time, some shooters, something like this, right? But they can all defend, right? Then you're going to be playing 4-on-3, and it's going to be a complete and utter advantage to the Warriors. And that's how historically they've won these championships when they go to the playoffs. You go Steph-centric, and he's aggressive on the ball, and he's fucking unstoppable. And I feel like, I was kind of looking forward to the possibility of this returning a little bit more this season. You know what I always say about Steph Curry on the ball. Give him at least 2-minute segments per quarter so that you don't waste Steph Curry off the ball the whole time, and you don't get to see this magic that he's showing, in the early part of this season. This is what makes the Warriors so great. And this is the way to unlock this team, with Steph Curry on the ball and him being a complete and utter threat. And they've taken, Steve has taken this away from him over the years. And then people started to believe that he's not this guy anymore. Oh, he doesn't like to play on the ball. Oh, he doesn't want to play, high pick and roll. Like that's just not his style of play. No, that's the best style of play that helps the Warriors win games and dominate against other teams. And this season is very different for him, because he's coming out of the gates in the third quarters just way more aggressive, right? And he treats the third quarter almost like the fourth quarter. Like, he's trying to get teams out of there by the third quarter, so he doesn't even have to play the fourth quarter. That is the most ideal way for the Warriors to play basketball. That is the most ideal way to give him the proper amount of rest he needs against most teams. Obviously, they came back tonight, and obviously we're going to have to talk about the nuances of that and why that happened. But the fact that Steph Curry can do this at age 36, I mean, this is fucking incredible, man. We are so fucking lucky to be able to witness it, that he hadn't been curtailed away from this enough that, Like, we're just not going to see that from him anymore. I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people feel like this team is done and he's done and whatever, right? It's the disbelief that Steph Curry can still do these things. Just give him the ball and see what happens. Well, we just saw it tonight against OKC. So how about it, man?
Basketball Diaries, you were wrong. Go fucking support Dallas. You were wrong. Defense and Steph, that's all it takes. Defense and Steph. Defense and Steph. Say it over and over again. And I hope you recite that in your dreams tonight because that's what it takes. Defense and Steph. Low.
You know,
Denver.
Just put
Defense and Steph.
Just put the fucking wings in and play Steph.
You see how we don't have Anthony Davis and we don't got this and we don't got that, blah, 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 blah.
Oracle.
Defense and Steph. They got Anthony Davis over there. Where the fuck is their defense at? Where's their defense? Anthony Davis, big Anthony Davis, 25th ranked defense in the league.
So, Urkel,
Not worried about those clowns, man.
First thing, man, I saw your tweet during the game. They're talking about, like, in a 7-game series, you're going to trust SGA or you're going to trust Steph Curry in that series?
Let me tell you something, Jim.
That is just fucking accurate, bro. Go ahead.
Jim, I'm just watching this game, and I'm just watching how Steph is just making the defense rotate. They're jumping out at him. He's throwing that lob pass. They're downhill. Dudes are getting lobs. And, like, the thing that happens with Steph is that Wiggins gets his 18 points. Melton gets his 19. Kuminga gets his 20. And Kuminga should have been on the court more, by the way. He had a really good night tonight. So that's the type of thing that happens when you play defense and you trap Steph and that ball rotates around, everybody gets to eat. That's the thing. He makes the defense rotate. He won't always get the assists, but he makes the defense move. He moves. Other people can make plays off of him. It's a really simple formula. I don't know how y'all are watching this team this long and y'all don't get the formula.
You know what was so beautiful about
Jim?
We watched this for over 15 years now. How do you still not get the formula at this point?
Jim,
it's inexcusable.
You are one of the Steph day one people that believed, right? And you've always said if you put defenders around Steph, you're going to get results.
Oh, that's why I always wanted David Lee off the team. Go ahead.
And when we're looking at it now, like OKC, unfortunately, Chet got hurt tonight, right? But I mean, shit, he's their only big, right? Like they don't have anybody else to play any type of power forward or anything like that.
Speaking of that, have you seen the stats when Chet is off? They're practically the exact same for the Thunder, by the way. Offensive rating and defensive rating. It's almost the exact same when he's on the court and when he's off the court.
Hey, so y'all are quiet now, right? Y'all are quiet. Who was guarding Shea tonight?
It was a mixture of either Melton or Wiggins. It was one of those two. They kind of tagged
Wiggins and GP2.
I'm gonna need to see that. Hold up. I'm gonna need to see that matchup data for Wiggins and Shea. I'm gonna need to see it. I would like to see it. I would like to see it.
I trust Wiggins above anybody else on the Warriors, including GP2 and Shea.
If anybody knows how to defend Shea, it's probably Wiggins, considering they're.
You see when Wiggs is on him and how many forearm. Hey, you see when Wiggs is on him and Shea is like using his forearm and he's pushing and he's hunting for a switch and Wiggs is fighting over and Wiggs is not giving him any airspace. You think that shit's going to beat us in the playoffs? Really? I would like to see it. I hope that Chet's okay because I feel like Warrior fans, like once they saw Chet get hurt, I feel like when Chet got hurt, it's almost like Warrior fans said, "Oh well, we don't know if they're going to be actually good, right?" Like, no. They were up by like 30, bro. Stop it. It sucks that he got hurt, but they don't have any type of depth at big. Where's the big?
Yeah, because Isaiah Hartenstein is also hurt.
Yeah, Hartenstein. Once he comes back, they'll be a completely different team. But There's one a potential concern that I had about OKC as the most formidable opponent that they'll probably see in the Western Conference, because they have so many switchable guards. And, typically the advantage for Steph is getting a big on him, right? And if they're willing to go a route of just elite wing defenders across the board, how would Steph Curry be able to handle that? Well, we got a little bit of a taste of that tonight. And that's what was so exciting, is that, he's mostly going against a bunch of guards, right? And he's fucking taking them to school. They can't stop him. And then they have to double him. So I feel like this is something that we needed to see, that Steph is still capable of doing, because again, as you get older, you have no choice but to slowly diminish over time. We don't know to what extent and how long that will take before Steph Curry, starts to drop off more significantly. But age 36, he is, oh my God, man. I feel like we're seeing the 21-22 version all over again. And man, I just got to give credit to Terry Stotts, man, because I feel like this is him. Go ahead.
Jim, we ain't seeing no fall off. Do you know why? Because his game isn't based on top end speed, right? His game is based on footwork. His game is based on angles. His game is based on skill. There ain't no fall off coming, right? The man is like fucking split squatting 225 pounds right now. He ain't going nowhere, bro. He ain't going nowhere.
I just was concerned last season in terms of like he missed a whole bunch of just easy stuff at the rim, and I'm so accustomed to the highest standard when it comes to his finishing ability at the rim, and that's a huge part of his game. And so that was a little bit discouraging for me last season to see him blow these, sometimes open layups. I'm like, what is that, right? That's just not Steph. And so, and we've seen much less of that this season with him just being more aggressive in general, outside of the very start of games. So this is beautiful, man. This is wow. The Warriors are. Oh man.
Hey, Bruce. Before you go, real quick, I just want to make an announcement.
Yeah, no doubt.
Looks like Steve Kerr has decided the starting five going forward from now: Steph, Melton, Wiggs, Draymond, and TJD.
So you see what I was saying, Irk? DeAnthony Melton is the ideal two guard next to Steph because he's essentially a wing.
Yep.
He can dribble past, shoot, right? He spaces the floor. He can guard up to the three, even the four when you're completely small. And I just think he's a little bit more poised than a lot of the other guys. So TJD,
Bruce,
Jim,
look at Melton's stat line tonight. Bruce, look at Melton's stat line tonight. He hit 5 threes and he hit 10 rebounds. He's a guard and he got 10 rebounds.
I'm telling you, we need.
And
now I get that OKC is small, but
that ability to shoot is such a huge deal, man. 5 of 8 from the 3-point line, and that's why I feel that he's the best fit in the starting lineup, because 100%. For the motion offense, man, which is how they'll always start out games, right? I feel like he's the ideal guy out of everybody in this. All the guards that they have. He's the one that can play make, has sharp shooting, has probably the best defense out of all of them for somebody who can shoot the way he does. So yes.
Yeah, and he got a quick trigger too, man. So yeah, I'm glad that's like solidified. But Jim, I know you're a big TJD guy. What's going on with your boy, man? He playing like he got cupcake icing on his fingers and he nervous or something. What's going on, man? Talk to me, man.
Very soft.
Well, at the end of the day, I believe in the combination of Loon and Trace against 95% of the league and the teams. Obviously, tonight Loon didn't even play because they're going very, very small, and they want the versatility of guards to be able to get out to the shooters, and because if they can shoot, they can drive, and if they drive, then Looney's screwed, right? And they didn't have Chet, so that's understandable. Although, I still see problems with some of these small lineups that they're running. There are some fundamental issues that I'm not confident about it. I want to be more confident in their closing lineup. But if Wiggins is, a closing 4, which I don't think that will be the case. It was, particularly against this team, but I don't like him at the 4. He's not, the 4 entails and requires you to be a strong rebounder and a help defender. Those are the first 2 things you have to be able to do defensively. GP2 is not that. Wiggins is not that. Kuminga's not that, which is why I've been saying for years to keep these guys away from power forward, because it's going to break your defense, and Draymond needs help. Even Draymond at the center spot at this point, I just don't feel like he's great at, he needs that secondary guy. right? So this is going to be an ongoing thing that they have to figure out. They have tried so many combinations. I'm just glad that it was able to hold up tonight. If they blow another 30-point lead, Jesus Christ, man.
The fact that they had a 30-point lead though is
No,
kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
Eric,
But
yeah.
Eric, I wanted them.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mhm.
When Chet went out, I was just screaming in the playback. By the way, playback.tv/space gang. And I kept on screaming in the playback. I was like, yo, go to the rim. Go to the rim. It was like 3 possessions where they were just firing up threes. And I'm like, bro, there's nobody in there. Get to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Like, run some misdirection with Steph and get to the rim. So, finally, in the second quarter, I kept on saying, I was like, yo, clamp up in this quarter. You know what I'm saying? And they started to separate. And then OKC got like 2 bullshit buckets at the end, and he scored 25. In the third quarter, they started to really separate. And there was a point in the third quarter where you saw Steph take the ball. And see, that is exactly what I want to see. And he was just going bucket, bucket, assist, bucket, bucket. And you saw what that led to. I thought I was going to update the stat tonight. Isn't it unbelievable that I updated the stats 2 times this year in blowout wins, and we almost did it again tonight? We aren't
Should
supposed
have
to be
been.
updating the stats in 2024. We're not supposed to be doing that.
Steve Kerr got a little bit too cute.
Don't tell me about 2022.
Don't tell me about 2022. That was a long time ago. Yeah, get
Yeah,
out of here.
Steve got a little too
Oh,
cute because I like what he did when Steph was on the heater. He kind of left him in a bit, so that means he's allowing his player to like stay hot. But in the same breath, like when your team look like, they probably gonna give up 10 points real quick, and the momentum is shifting. I think you should start staggering certain starters back into the game. So I think he just got a little bit too cute. It's normal. You buying time for your team. You don't want nobody to get
Yeah.
hurt. Guys are exhausted. You're already in a hostile arena, but
by the way, Bruce, just to finish your question about Trace, I think over time, this starting lineup, obviously, tonight is the first time we got a look at that lineup, and it wasn't perfect. There were some flaws. I think that they need a few games to get some chemistry, and I think they're going to start looking really well against most of the other teams. Having said that, I literally pointed out, I tagged Trace in this tweet saying that somebody told me that Trace plays like he doesn't want any problems with anybody, like he's a nice guy or something, and he just needs to play with more force. He needs to be the initiator of contact. He needs to embrace contact. That is the biggest thing that separates him from Looney. And if he continues to not be physical enough in some of these games against some of these big matchups, and he looks almost overwhelmed against certain matchups or something along those lines. And again, I think for these lineups to work, everybody, it just all the pieces have to fit, which is why I've been looking for that viable starting shooting guard, and I think we got one in Melton now. So we'll see how it goes, and if this continues, I think ultimately they're doing this test, and you say whatever you want. At the end of the day, they've been starting him, and they're 8-2. So it's not like the team is suffering in a major way because he's starting. If it's starting to hurt the team more, on a consistent basis, and the games are not good because of this, then they can switch it out to Looney at the end of the day. And I think maybe come playoffs, if Trace doesn't improve his strength and just being tougher in general, toughness is that's not quantifiable by stats, right? You just have to watch and see who's really physical and who's not. And the younger players tend to be less physical than the older players. So, and that's a part of being championship caliber, right? So, and again, the great news is that they have Looney, right? The great news is that they kept him despite what people thought of him last season, and he's come back with a vengeance. And if need be, then he can be the starter by the time they get to the playoffs, should Trace not be ready. But we know at the end of the day, even if Trace is coming off the bench, he's going to be a viable center for them, and he's going to give them huge minutes, whether it's 15 to 20 minutes, whatever it is. That rim protection between Luna and Trace is ultimately what has what has transformed the identity of this team. Last season, think about Looney and Dario Saric, right? That's not a defensive identity, and they have that now. So that's what I got to say about Trace.
Switch culture. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, Swiss
What's
Culture.
popping, Earth? How's
I've
it
been
Swish,
going?
waiting for you,
swish,
Swish.
swish. They are so mad because I read your comment section and it's disgusting. You know how many people called you dumb and delusional and all of that shit? They don't
Bro.
trust the Jamaicans. Trust
Hey,
the Jamaicans. They
hey,
don't
Swish.
trust the
Man.
Jamaicans.
Hey, Swish, what's going on, my guy? I can't wait till the next video comes out, bro.
Oh man, so you be watching. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hear that. Man,
Yo,
that comment
Swiss,
section gets
Swiss,
crazy sometimes, man.
Swiss, what's going on with Steve Kerr, man?
Oh
I've
man,
been
what's
seeing
up?
your
Yeah,
I've been seeing your tweets, bro. Like, and I 100% agree with everything that you've been putting.
yeah. You know, tonight I was really like, I was watching. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna hold back anything. I'm not gonna hold anything back. And so I tweeted out some stuff because it's what I see out there, right? I don't know if you guys realize it, but I don't really post on Twitter like that. But I'm gonna try to start sharing my views a bit more proactively and get some stuff out there, in between my videos and stuff like that. And I do plan on doing a video on this game for tomorrow. But some of the stuff that I saw, I love the result of the game. The end result is great. I'm not going to speculate on whether it could be better, but I saw some stuff out there. And so what we're talking about is the substitution patterns and what's going on with Pods. Like, Pods was, Pods. I don't have any hate for Pods. I think he helps the team a lot. There's a lot of times when we could use him, but I feel like Pods and TJD get a lot more rope than Kaminga and Moody has gotten, and I think that draws my ire a lot more than anything else because you know tonight Pods was, I think, at the halftime or something, he had 15 minutes of playing time and he was a -10. I've never really seen Paz with a negative plus minus, especially when the Warriors are up by I think the Warriors it was 17 points they were up, so it was probably through the third quarter, and he had 0 points and he had one rebound, one assist, and one turnover in that period of time. So clearly, Paz was having an off game. I'm not going to go ahead and blame the kid for it because he's played decently. But Steve Kerr, on the other hand, um, he just went crazy and took everybody out of the lineup. To me, what that says is you don't really know what the problem is, but you know that the prior unit was doing well, so you're just going to take everybody out. Okay. But I don't think five players were screwing up at the same time. So I wish he would have, maybe he's doing it for locker room preservation, but I think, that could be the only excuse. But I don't feel that. I don't think that's what it is because when Kaminga and Moody mess up, they get yanked out of the game. These dudes get pulled hard and they get sacked.
Facts.
All right. And so Pods was
Was,
not that
man.
that was not granted. He was not taken out of the game. Steve Kerr took everybody out. Dude, that's your point guard. That's who's directing traffic. That's who's controlling your ball and feeding your players and running the court. All right. So if other people are having issues, and your point guard is really having an awful game, maybe you got Steph Curry, you got D'Anthony Melton. Can we put those guys in there instead of just going a la carte, just or whacking the whole team? And I think that took everybody out of rhythm, especially with, Steph wasn't really thinking he was going to go back in, but I think he'd have been ready. But I just think, that entire group swap thing that he did, I wasn't very fond of that. But that being said, I know this team is talented enough. I said earlier in the season that it looks like Mike Dunleavy's Kerr-proofed this team. And I still stand by that.
Shit.
Despite
That's exactly right.
despite the screw up.
Curve proof is
Yeah,
perfectly said.
Bro,
yeah. So despite
you
the
would have
screw
put
up, and we
sponges on
see
all
them.
the sharp edges, man. That's funny as hell.
Yeah. So despite all those, the screw ups and stuff like that, which no coach is perfect, of course, but despite all those Kerr screw ups, the team was still able to pull away with the win because we have some talented players that are playing hard this season. They play good. If they stick with that mantra, playing good defense, and near that closing period, they were finding Steph Curry, and they were finding him a lot. I think more so than normal. That is really helpful. My only issue with this is when they lean on it too much, then it becomes a bit predictable. So when you saw
Yep.
when Draymond found Kaminga for that lob, all right, it's like shit. I forgot this guy was on the floor. So when you do that and you break it up, now it's like you kind of make them start questioning themselves, make Dort start questioning himself. You saw how those guys were flying all over the place and they were committing fouls left and right, fouling Steph Curry. And that's kind of what you want. You want them to be discombobulated. All right. And so when we have that, you can close out a game the way you're supposed to. But
Swish.
that said, that this is 2 games out of 3, and to face the 3 top teams in the league right now. I'm not even looking at the Phoenix Suns. I don't want nobody telling me nothing about the Phoenix Suns. I don't care about the Phoenix Suns. All right, we got OKC, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are on the hottest streak, and then we had the Boston Celtics. The Warriors won 2 out of 3, and they came out looking good, and I'm happy with that.
By the way, Kuminga had obviously a hell of a game. He was aggressive from the jump, and especially OKC, basically no big man left. And well, if the other team doesn't have rim protection, then Kuminga he's like unstoppable. Like tonight, he was virtually unstoppable going to the rim like that. There's nobody more aggressive in that way. I just think that, especially against elite teams, you have to better protect him. And I think, tonight that fourth quarter, Kuminga is at the 4, and I just don't think that's a good way. You're overextending him, and then it makes him look bad. Like he should be looking great either as a 3, just primarily at the 3, and then make sure that the defense is properly covered, so he doesn't have to, we don't have to blame him because hey, where's that rebound? Hey, where's that box out? Hey, where's that guarding of the power forward? Like, stop asking him to do those things. Protect him better. And this closing lineup, I still didn't love Wiggins at the 4. They got away with it tonight with enough of a lead, but
he played good defense.
At the end of the day, Kuminga is at the 3, or a mixture of 3 and 4, let's say, right? And there was some problems here and there. At the end, I think one of the most important stops of the game was when he stayed in front of Jalen Williams and not allow him to go past him. And that when you keep guys in front of you, that's what allows your help defense to come through. So then was it Draymond that came through, and then Melton was able to steal the pass, right? That's how you stay connected, is to keep your guy in front of him. Don't get burned, don't get beat. That's just basic 101, and he was able to do that tonight. So it was nice to see that from him. I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about him.
Yeah, I mean, he did pretty well. I was kind of surprised it took Kerr that long to put him in the game because he was, the best player on the floor in the last game, and I figured that could have at least earned him some brownie points, right? He didn't come until 2 minutes and 39 seconds or something like that in the game, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. I wasn't sure that Gary Payton should have been the player to come in off the bench, the first player off the bench, in place of Trace. If you're going to go with a small 5, I think you should have put Kuminga in there. That's my personal take on that. So having him wait that long, he was like the 9th or the 10th guy in off the bench. Like, I don't know if you understand what that would do to somebody's confidence. Like, I was really good in the last game, but now I get to sit here and watch everybody else go out there and play, and I'm sitting here on the bench, not going in until, like he has to come in tonight and prove again that he deserves to going a bit earlier.
It's crazy because he's been playing so well the last 6 games, and he still has to prove shit to this fan base and to the coach. I don't understand this, bro.
Well, did the 11-0 run in the fourth quarter that blew everything the Warriors doing happen or not? That did happen.
Yes,
and you have to hold him accountable for that. And he got it at the end of the day. He got the chance to come back into the game over GP2 because that just wasn't big enough. And he proved himself. So this is a really good thing.
That run on Kuminga?
That was because of Pods. Kuminga was
that was on Pods. Pods was getting blown by left and right. You're forcing Kuminga to play too.
But Kuminga's not going to be the one who's going to be able to, protect the team's defense if those things happen. That's why you understand what I'm saying. Like it's all connected, man.
Swiss culture, man. I want you to explain this, man, because.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. So you have to put a lineup out there that fits well, that fits together.
Yes.
And Paz was having a very rough game. He kind of fancies himself as a connector, right? Like kind of in a Draymond Green role. And so Paz was supposed to be that guy in a that glue, and he's supposed to be that floor general. He's supposed to direct, he's supposed to be leading the plays. But what happens is Pods was not doing those things. He was not, like, we've seen some good defensive plays from him this season. Tonight was not one of those nights. All right. He was not playing well on either ends of the floor. He was not a threat. He was not getting any stops, and he was not a threat on the offensive end. Like he got these wide open shots. How many shots did he take? I think he took like maybe two or so shots. What by the time Steve Kerr called for a timeout. So he was not being aggressive, and he was not facilitating. Paz had 1 assist in 15 minutes. You're the point guard, and you're not scoring. You're not taking shots.
I mean, he was
When you
negative
look at these
on the
things,
floor.
And also Swiss
yeah.
culture.
So
He was leading.
And
so
also
and,
Swiss
and here's the
culture
thing: you
that
get a
happened on
team
the third
like
quarter, not on the fourth. That happened on the third quarter. I wanted to know that.
yes.
What makes it bad
So
about it is that with everybody else, they get yanked, they make a mistake. They're not on the floor anymore, especially with Wiggins and Kuminga. But Paz, he gets to go out there, not be negative on offense because he can't shoot the ball. He's not good. He's not getting his drives. Then be negative on defense because everybody and their moms blow by him. People who can't blow by anybody is blown by him, and he just stays on the floor.
Listen,
That can't happen.
listen. Pods is a walk-in positive. He does some positive stuff. It just wasn't his night. Point blank simple.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He's a positive for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not trash guys because they had an off night. He's wearing a mask. It's probably uncomfortable, right? He's playing with a broken nose. He's all out of sorts. It's
It's
fine.
not
He'll
even
be
him.
okay.
I'm talking about Steve Kerr in the
It
rotation.
it he was a
yeah.
positive as a rookie, and he's going to be a positive again.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
we
We're
agree.
So
talking
We
about,
agree
we'll
with
be
keeping
we
his
fine.
shoulder
agree.
Yeah, I
released
don't
on him
think
if he's
anyone's
struggling
blaming
really
I
Paz.
badly.
think nobody's blaming Paz, by the way. I think what Swiss coach is trying to say is about Steve Kerr and how he's giving quote unquote more grace
Yeah.
to certain people and
Yeah.
yanking others through this first 4 years of their careers that were doing that to JK and Moody. And we didn't give them
Let me say
this
this though,
quote unquote
Veteran
right?
grace.
communicate,
Let me say
bro.
this. People who can make plays, they're going to stay on the court. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. The reason why we were able to run circles around OKC tonight is because we have multiple people who can make a decision and make a play. How many people out there do you see that can make a decision and make a play? They have some really good defenders out there, but how many of those guys are making decisions and making plays? Pods is one of those people, by the way. He just had an off
And
night
by the
tonight.
way, he's really needed now because Melton, who could be a backup point guard, is now in the starting lineup, right? So now Pods is your primary backup point guard, and at the end of the day, that run, that 11-0 run, that happened in a 3-minute span. That happened in the blink of an eye, right? So I'm sure the coaching staff didn't expect it to get that bad, and once it did get that
Jim,
bad, it was a quick change of okay, Pods only played like 3 minutes in the fourth quarter before they took him out, right? So
Jim,
Hey,
yeah.
Jim.
I saw Terry Stotts say something to Kerr too. I could read his lips. He said, you got timeouts you can use.
Oh wow,
Hey, Jim.
yeah.
Jim. Who's the best team in the conference right now based on record?
It's the Warriors and what, the Suns,
Yeah,
The Warriors and
the
the
Suns
Suns.
just lost
Okay.
KD though for a few weeks.
right?
I looked up the Suns tonight, Lee, and Katie was playing 38 minutes a game.
Yeah, this is the first
Oh my.
played over 30 minutes.
Listen, let me tell
He's
you
also
something.
playing power forward.
This
That's not sustainable, Jim.
this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, right? So, like when you used to watch those Fast and the Furious movies, and dudes used to blow his nose real quick.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Too
Yeah.
soon, Junior.
Too soon. Right. Blow his nose. That's
The
literally what
Nas,
Phoenix is doing
great.
right
That's
now.
a great analogy.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Eric.
I be hitting the Nas too early in the arcade, bro.
Yo, don't hit the nos too early, man. Like,
Or just get a better car.
oh shit, yeah. Don't trade for Bradley Beal, man. Come on.
Nah, and to be real with you, Eric, it's funny that that's the injury that he got because he's playing the four. So if anybody's paying attention, it's not that he hasn't been playing great and his numbers are really great, but come on, bro, playing the four, that's like not sustainable, bro. You know what I mean? So
Hey, the Warriors have a major opportunity right now. I don't know what's going to happen with Chet. I hope that it's not a serious injury or anything, but he
Jim, it's
may be
probably a
out for
hip
a little
pointer.
bit.
He'll probably be out
And
for a
Uh,
couple
then
weeks.
every
you
Bro,
have
he
KD
landed
who's going to be
hard on
out
his
for.
hip.
And then
What do you think his injury is? Because
I
I
think it's a
hope
hip
It's
pointer,
a
he
Earth.
hip
didn't break
injury. I think it's
anything.
a hip
I
injury.
think it's a hip
Because he,
pointer.
I hope it's just a bruise. You know what I'm saying?
because
Yeah,
he
I hope
So
landed
so.
he'll probably be
really
out of.
hard.
he
He
was,
landed
he
like
was
dead on
limping it.
hardwood, bro.
It's either it has to be a hip pointer, Earth.
But the bottom line is KD is also out, and I think this is a major opportunity for the Warriors to continue to do what they do, so they can take over that number one spot.
Jim, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. KD, Chet, the Warriors gonna do what they do regardless. You know what I mean? Like this don't got nothing to do. But in saying that, I get what you're saying because you're speaking from an intellect standpoint. Just continue to take care of business. I
Yes.
100% agree with you. But I think they were gonna do that regardless. So we're in agreement there. So
Yeah, I'm just saying
everything
it's an
is
opportunity.
100%. I
yeah.
100%
Hey,
agree.
Bruce.
What up,
Bruce.
G?
You know, like when we were losing last year, there was like 2,000 people in here. Now there's only like 600 people in
Oh,
here.
they
It happens all the time,
Oh,
bro.
not
People
enough.
only
oh
care
no,
when we
man!
lose.
Come
Shit
on,
happens.
man! Hey! You don't want to hear the vigor in my voice, do you? Come on, man! Hop in. We can have some fun.
Hey,
We'll have some
Earth.
laughs. I know my voice pisses you off, but come on,
Or
man!
you think
Hop
they
in
want to
here.
hear
Give
you when the Warriors are winning? Like you think they
Yo,
want to hear you when
you
the
know
Yeah,
Warriors
what?
are
come
winning?
record this,
Like,
Slim
Yo,
Sleeper. Stop
Earth.
fucking running your
You know
mouth.
who's listening right
Slim
now?
Sleeper, make sure you're in here recording with your little recording machine, you
You
dweeb.
know who's
Come on
you
in.
know who's listening on
Slim Sleeper.
who's listening on
I'll show you who
Anonymous right
gets
now, right,
slapped.
Earth? Your boy Nick Wright.
Fucking night.
Your boy Nick Wright. He's listening on Anonymous right now, saying the Warriors, they're done for. The Warriors as we know it are done for.
I don't
You
think
know what I mean? I want to see how Bay Area's own Malika's going to talk about the boys tomorrow because, the Warriors as we know it, the dynasty is over.
I think
yeah, Nick Wright been saying that for a long time. From the moment the Warriors traded for Andrew Wiggins, that man declared that the Warriors will never, ever win another championship as long as they, it's like Steph Curry will never win another championship with Andrew Wiggins. I don't know
Nick
how
Wright's got the
Steph
IQ.
winning a
Hey,
championship
Bro,
after that doesn't
how
make
do
him the
Swish,
people
greatest of all
ever
time.
take Nick West
Swish.
seriously when
You
in
know what's so funny?
2017 he literally said Cavs in 5 in that
Yep,
series, by the
Hey,
way.
you know what's so funny?
yep.
Erk, you know like how the homie Shadow, what's Shadow at? I don't even know if oh Shadow's up there. You know how Shadow always say like if you're gonna be like loud in public, like the apology needs to be in public too. All these people who was tweeting on the timeline with the nice, cute trade machines and bagging on Wiggins and just destroying him. I mean, we hearing about this man's family, his wife cheating on him. All I'm seeing is Wiggins playing like an all NBA defensive player so far, giving you a light 15 to 20 points, 18 a night, right? Chill, haircut, not even saying too much, not demanding the ball, not clapping at teammates like a former small forward, not pouting, not cursing at nobody. And I don't see those same people showing no flowers, man. So I'm just trying to figure out if those people who are smarter than everybody, if they're gonna give credit to the people who actually stepping up to the plate. You know what I mean? Putting up their big boy
Yeah,
shoes. So I'm just trying to figure that out.
you know what I realize? What I realize is when it comes to basketball and social media, they do not like to give props. They always like to tear people down, right? So when you see players doing certain things that are impressive or whatnot, like if it's somebody going having to go back or apologize, you're not going to hear that. And it's crazy to me because you hear all the time about how this player is terrible, how that player is awful, or this or that, but you don't hardly ever hear them come back and be like, "Oh man, I take back what I said. This player is, this and that."
That's true.
It's almost like
Swish, it's engagement farming. People just like to see other people fail, and they think it's funny. And people like to see
yeah,
funny shit.
yeah, and that's basically it. So it's almost like it thrives off of negativity, and that's one of the reasons why when I made my channel, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I do not tear players down. Every one of my videos, or 99% of my videos, I'm building people up, and I'm letting you know this is what this player is capable of doing. I mean, maybe they won't get to it, maybe they won't get to it right away, but what I'm saying is, there's too much negativity, and I try to stay away from that because I'm a positive dude. So, I get a lot of hate for it, a lot of critics for it. You go to the comment section, any video, you'll see 300 plus comments. But maybe a third, half of them are negative. people saying shit, calling me all kinds of names, whatnot. But that's just how it seems to work. The social media sphere, you know.
Hey, Irk, you know they're still saying we haven't played anybody, right?
What?
What?
Chet
What?
Holmgren was injured. Chet was injured. They had no center. They didn't have Hartenstein. OKC didn't have
Dog.
Hartenstein.
Hey, Steph didn't play against the Rockets, right? And people were people were running laps, dog. They were running laps, but they can't figure it out. They don't know what the formula is. And anytime they see the team winning and Steph isn't on the court, they're like, look, see, he has help. He has help. Meanwhile, there's not a top 50 player in sight. they can't figure out what the magic is, what the formula is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's when they say, well, it's just Steph is playing in a system. Like, bro, Steph is the system.
Bruce.
Steph Curry is the system. That's
Yo, Chaji.
The man them swear say Obia, you know. The man them swear say Obia. The man them swear say Stephen Obia, man.
I'm telling them can't angle the brother, man. Them can't angle him. They don't know what to
Stephen
do.
Obia, man. Obia.
Yo.
Oh
I'm
shit,
weak,
man.
son. I'm weak.
Hey, by the way,
Oh
I
shit.
hope that we can burn this, like what's happened in the first 10 games so far. We can burn this into our memory so that we don't forget, you know, how the Warriors need to come out to begin a season. Steph Curry, he said it last game and he said it tonight. Talking about developing an identity. And tonight he said we're starting to develop an identity around here, and I like it. And it's like, well, that's the thing about the first 20 games or so is that you're establishing identity in terms of who you are. You know, the Warriors have had a tendency over the years to be like, oh, it's the first 10, 20 games. It's time to experiment right now. No, the first 20 games is for you to establish position and let the other teams around the league know who the hell you are this season. Instead of saying like, oh, we're going to try to figure this out in the first 30, 40 games. No, that's not how it works for real teams and dominant teams. Real teams and dominant teams establish their identity early on, and they win very early on. It's going to dictate how their season is going to be. So I hope that we never forget that, because I feel like over the last couple of seasons, we have forgotten that.
So, Jim, having said that, correct. I have something for you that Irk mentioned in the beginning that, you know, kind of went, you know, we didn't really talk about it, but I'm curious now, because if you look at it, the Warriors have been able to go on runs on every single team, right? They've been able to go on some good runs. So they went up on OKC by 30 points. So how do you take that formula and bottle it? All right, because they did it over the course of multiple units. Because I don't think it was, you know, when the second unit came out, they played fairly well, and that translated, you know, once the third quarter started, once it went down. So how do the Warriors bottle that and then, you know, go through film and then replicate that for the rest of the season? Is that something that they can maintain, or is that just something they stumble upon?
No, I think it's something like that's just going to happen in the NBA. It's just the natural progression of a game. Like Steph went off in that third quarter, so largely what contributed to that lead was him going on a tear. Like I didn't like how they finished the game, like at least in that fourth quarter. Obviously, I wish they didn't get the lead down to just 6. But when you're up by that much, especially a team this experienced with these two dudes like in Steph and Draymond, who's been to the finals, seen all kinds of battles against some of the greatest players who ever played this game. Like getting hyped for, you know, the 10th game in a season, that may be hard sometimes, especially at the end of a road trip. So the fact that they closed that and won, I'm happy with that. Last year, they don't do that at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Well, last year they
Totally right.
100% blew this game.
Yeah.
Not even funny.
Like the
Yes.
level
Now-
of composure that they have, the fact that they're not turning the ball over crazy in the end of these moments. I remember last year they would have just some of these most boneheaded level of like turnovers like in the final minutes. And you haven't seen that this season. Like this game, I think they only had like 14 turnovers the whole game. Like Draymond had a few and Steph had maybe 1 or 2, but for the most part, they're not just compounding mistakes on top of each other. So as long as they win a game and they close out, executing fine, I'm happy with that. I don't like that. Well,
Hey,
I'm happy with that.
hey, yo, L Dot, you Bay Area zone. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Don't you feel there's more cohesion and chemistry vibes look better when dudes is not like clapping at you, running down the court, and there's no power to nothing like that. It just looks a lot different, right?
Yeah, you got the good vibes flowing. You don't have any.
Hear me out, man. Steph
Hear me out.
defense, Steph defense, and fall the fucking line. Plain
Hey,
and simple.
Yep.
Do
Yeah,
you
man. Think about
realize?
last season against OKC. I
Hold up,
mean, fucking the ball's in Chris Paul's hands for crying out loud in overtime.
hold up,
In
Jim Park,
overtime, they're running the motion. Steph Curry's off the ball, standing in the corner,
Jim
while
Park.
Chris Paul is looking for Klay Thompson coming off the curl, taking a bunch of contested shots, and you wonder why I was going crazy last season, bro.
Hey,
Hey, it's a Steph
Jim
Curry's
Park.
fucking team. Give him the fucking ball when the game is on the line. Thank
Check
you.
this out, right? DeAnthony Melton, first true game you could say like really starting, right? Because he was out for a minute, and he didn't start last game as well, right? 19 points while playing point of attack defense, and you still finishing with 10 rebounds, and your first true start with guys you first really getting a true run with since the preseason.
Yeah,
That say a
no,
lot, bro.
that's the thing about Melton, man. He's like a
He's
blend of GP2 and Buddy Hield. Like he can do
he had a
both of
double
those
double
things.
tonight, 19 and 10. Yeah.
That says
All
a
right,
lot.
three steals on top of that.
That
That's
says
big.
that says a lot. Secondary ball handler. You know what I mean?
All right,
Less pressure on Steph. You know what I mean?
and
Quick.
took care of business
I can't
Right.
believe
Correct.
from the 3-point line.
I can't believe
All
the
right.
league allowed us to get Melton, bro. He is so good on this team.
Yeah, and he gonna
He is.
be. The Warriors win a chip. He gonna be too much help. We gonna hear how he should be an All-Star and all that.
Oh, they're already
Hey,
on that, Bruce. They're already
hey,
on that train.
hear me out. I know this is going to be a very unpopular thing to say, but they hit on all the free agents, dog. They hit on all the
Yeah,
free
they did.
agents. Every
Yeah, they
single one of
did.
them. Because all of them are contributing.
And
How's
They
that an
did.
unpopular thing to say?
all
Because people don't like to.
all of them
Well,
this season already have had like impactful games to the point where you can make an argument they were like a singing or a shining particular like factor in a game. Like they were very much important and integral to the wins. Like Paul Anderson in the Boston game, small flurry, and then tonight Melton did his, and Buddy Hield has been having like a renaissance of a season. Like all three of them hit. Dunleavy, you killed.
No, they did. And I think, some people might get lost on, like Kyle Anderson had 6 points, right? And Hield only had 8 points. But that is not just the entirety of it. You're going to have, and Kyle didn't even have an off game. He had 5 assists and 5 rebounds, right? But a lot of people will tend to judge them on, okay, whether they're scoring how many points or not. But what these guys give to you aside from that, what Anderson gives to you aside from, scoring, and what Melton gives to you aside from scoring, even that, even if he only had 10 points on offense tonight, that would have still been a really good night for DeAnthony Melton, right? And from game to game, you're going to have these adjustments. Guys are going to have lows and highs, ebbs and flows. And so one night you might not get it from Buddy Hield. All right. He might kind of drift into the corner a little bit, but that's okay. This is why you have a team like this. You have a team where, if your teammate doesn't stand up tonight, guess what? Your teammates got you. Somebody's got you. Somebody else is going to come in and step up. And that's the kind of mentality that I think is going to take this team through. The only thing is we need to be able to recognize when somebody's like not having their night, and it's like, all right, it's cool, no pressure. We have somebody else that can step in, step up, and let's give that person, that personnel, that player the opportunity to do that. That is what I'd like to see more in order to maximize the utilization of these players. Other than that, if we have our standard starting 5, I'm perfectly happy with the starting 5 that they have. My only thing is that Melton could be injured, and that could fuck things up for what might come later on down in the season. That is my big concern. But
The thing is with Melton, though, they're going to treat him like they did Otto Porter, I think. I don't think he's going to play back-to-backs. We have guys who necessarily aren't as good as him, like in GP2, who could play as good as defense as him. And if he has like a wide open basket or if he's cutting, we know he could score. Like GP2 was back to who he was in 2022. I know we won't have the ball handling, we won't have other aspects, but I think the level of depth on this team that exists, like we could cover for a lot of holes that certain guys, if they were to go out, we wouldn't have been able to do so in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. They can rest him, and somebody can plug in against most teams. Like they can plug in a lot of different players at that shooting guard spot and still be able to win that game. So that's the beauty of the Warriors this season is that guys, you don't have to overextend guys.
Yeah.
Just a random feeling point, not necessarily like anything analytical. Hey, Jim, let me ask you this. Has there been any games this season so far where you felt truly stressed and anxiety, like where it's like, man, I don't know if we're as good as this team, or more so is like even in the losses, like it happens, you knew based upon the circumstances that particular game could lead to a loss, unlike last year?
Oh, well, obviously nothing close to last season, right? Because last season was Clown World. It was literally just, I don't know what the fuck that was. Everything was just a complete and utter joke. Nothing made sense. But this, I'm very intense when watching these games. Every mistake that I see, I'm just like, what is that? Like that needs to not happen. These combinations shouldn't happen. Like I'm constantly looking at these things to see how they can maximize their situation. So I watch with a different level of intensity, but yeah, mostly I'm chilling and having belief that this team is just going to dominate the season.
Raptors up 6 on the Lakers. Oh boy.
Irk, can you
Phoenix about to lose too.
Irk,
Shadow,
What's up, Shadow?
can you run through the numbers?
The numbers, all right.
Yeah, like how many rebounds total team, then
Oh,
the
all right.
individual numbers, turnovers, assists.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the main number that I look at is the shots, right? So we had 89 shots tonight. They had 94. So we had 14 turnovers. So it's a possession thing. So in this current NBA, I do think you have to win the possession battle. So we had 13 offensive rebounds tonight. Total rebounds, we had 46 rebounds. They had 41. The turnovers, 14 for us. They had 11. We committed 26 fouls. Some of those fouls were bullshit. We made 21 threes tonight. Steph had 7 of those. So they shot 26 free throws. Shea shot like 14 of those. That's fine. Whatever. He's a merchant. Steph was a plus 21 for Wiggs. Kuminga plus 7. Kyle Anderson plus 7. Kyle 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 20 minutes. He's gonna do that type of thing. But the main number that I'm looking at, they had 8 steals tonight. 8 steals. OKC only had 4 steals tonight. We had 8. So we really imposed our will tonight. But again, 127 points. We had 4 guys in double digits. Draymond had 8. Buddy had 8. And you saw it tonight, right? Like, if Kuminga and Wiggs didn't even combine for this amount, I would have been disappointed. They both should have had 20 tonight. Wiggins only had like 14 shots. So Wiggins tonight, 18 points, 5 assists for Wiggins. Wow. 8 rebounds, 3 steals. And he did a hell of a job on Shea tonight. So much so the refs.
And Jay Williams.
You know what? Wiggins
After
plus
Jay
minus
Williams was going
Wiggs
off,
was
he
huge
went on him.
for us at the start of the game too, keeping us in the game.
You know what Wiggins plus minus was tonight? Plus 21. Same as Steph.
Let me tell you this, right? There's a couple of people in here right now. We get a top 2 seed. Wiggins and Steph are going to make the All-Star team.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Wiggins and Steph are going to make the All-Star team again.
And it's going
to be the second fluke year.
I don't know about
Buddy
Wiggins.
might fuck around and make it.
Remember, Wiggins was voted in that last time. I don't think the coaches would.
Okay. We
The
don't see.
entire Canada.
Wiggins got to be a little more aggressive, attacking. Like some of these layups that he's missing, like he doesn't have the best touch around the rim at times. It
It's
gets a
not
little
that, Jim.
frustrating when they really
His
need a
back.
bucket and he's
He
just
doesn't have
missing
a back
buttons.
right now,
Nah,
Jim.
You
that
gotta
man
go
playing with
up
a
Well,
bad
he
back,
stronger,
better
bro.
he
He
bro.
better
does
make
not
an
have a
all
back.
defensive
Jim,
team.
Jim,
He
Go
he
better
ask
playing
make
with a
all
people.
bad
defensive team.
Jim. He
What?
playing with a bad back, dog. You could just look at some of the stuff. I'm like, yeah, he ain't trying to make that back lock up. Them spasms ain't nothing nice, Jim. And I could just tell, dog, because you smoking layup after layup, dog. He can't be
That
a normal Wiggins ain't smoking this amount of
that effort
layups.
he had though when he missed that free throw and then came back and tipped
Yeah,
in
it
was
was nice.
nice.
I love his defensive effort. Obviously, he's a primary reason why I have confidence against
There's
teams
not
like
one
OKC.
star this season that he didn't lock up. Not one.
Yeah,
Hey, on top of being an all-star, because I do think that he can be an all-star, I think that he should be on one of the defensive teams.
for sure,
Bro,
thousand
Finally,
Alex
percent.
Caruso,
because he always
Alex
gets
Caruso
snubbed.
was all NBA. And Alex Caruso is not even Wiggins' stratosphere when it comes to guarding.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Random thing, talking about Melton again. I didn't know he had 19 and 10 tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
G. That's what I was pointing
Goodness
out. That's
gracious.
He's a
L dot.
certified dog.
L dot. What I was pointing out was that usually when guys play point of attack defense, like Wiggins in the finals, is not normal to see them finish with that amount of rebounds because they always on the perimeter. And so, like, this is the reason why games like elite Klay Thompson, he would finish with like 2, 3 rebounds. It wasn't that he wasn't hustling, but he's usually on the perimeter, right? And he's usually got help side, or Bogut or Draymond is getting a rebound, or Barnes. This is the exact same thing that's going on. So when this guy finishes with 10 rebounds, right, and you see that he's playing and he's been battling the bad back, he's hustling his ass off.
Yeah, he
Yo,
definitely.
the Sun. Hey, 1 second though. The Suns are about to lose.
Of course they
Oh,
are.
they lost KD, so they may lose some games. Yeah.
So we're tied for the 1 seed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we're back. Oh yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Did you
By the
guys?
way, man, I just want to Wiggins. When it comes to like one-on-one defense, I think he might be the best one in the league. I don't. We saw a little bit of GP2 on, SGA tonight, and it just wasn't on the same level. He doesn't have the same level, same size and length as Wiggins does. He just has the perfect amount of length and strength and just wiriness and toughness. Can you guys name me a better perimeter, lockdown defender than
I'm gonna
Wiggins
keep
when
it
it comes
real
to
with you.
guarding like the superstars of the league?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm watching Paul George in Philly, and he's just floating and floating and floating around and floating and floating and floating, making his 40 something $1 million a year. And he's floating around and floating and floating and floating,
Hey, they got the win tonight, bro. They got the win tonight.
Interesting. So who thinks that
floating
even if
and
we traded Paul George or Wiggins straight up for Paul George,
Hold
who
up,
thinks
Swish.
that would have been a win for the
I didn't
Warriors?
Swish.
want Paul
I
George.
never
I
Swish.
wanted
wanted that.
Laurie, if I'm keeping
I
it
didn't
real.
want
Swish.
Wiggins
I didn't
involved in
want
any
Paul
deal.
George.
Swish. I
Again,
think.
I
I
saw some
think.
rust on.
I
I
think
mean
we
that.
need. I think we need to trade Wiggins for Chetty Osman and Ricky Rubio. Or we could probably try and get Ben Simmons right now since Ben Simmons got
Dude,
hurt.
nah, screw that, bro. Bobby Portis.
Oh my God.
Bobby Portis, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
people were pushing for
they
that.
keep
Some people
talking
were
about
pushing for that last
Trick,
season.
a
man.
major trade
You
Yeah,
see how
people were
goofy
Hold
that
up.
is
dead
now?
ass
Hold
pushing
up,
for
Jim.
that.
How do
Y'all
you feel?
tripping, man.
How do you feel if we trade?
Is a faggot.
Man, who's that clown, man? Kick
Lee,
that
let me
man
handle
out,
this,
man.
Lee.
The fuck was that?
My bad.
What the heck?
I took him off.
Wow. Wow. Anyway,
Who was that?
I mean, at
yeah.
this point, is anybody comfortable with like a big trade, kind of messing with the depth?
Before we get there, I'm curious because this might tie into what you're asking. How does considering how Kevon Looney's been playing, how do you guys feel about Looney not getting any minutes tonight?
Nah, I don't think he could have played
Well, there
tonight,
was
dog.
just
We
no other
basically
center,
you
right?
tonight you basically playing against 4 or 5 guards, bro. Like legit. They had like
They went out with a 5 guard lineup, but
yeah, you can't play Looney in the game like that.
if we're the A side and we're the alpha and we're supposed to be one of the best teams in the league, I feel we should make teams play to us,
I
not
agree.
we
Yeah.
play to them.
But
I
remember
think it would
also,
have been good for Looney to get some minutes and dump the ball to him and force them because look how easy Kaminga and Wiggins was getting rebounds over these guys.
But
Even
Shadow,
Kyle.
but that's the
you
issue. When you
right.
have such a big rotation, when you have 12, 13 guys, you say you're going to play
Nah,
every night, it's
that's
going to be a constant
that's
changing of the games because
that,
you can't have the
that's
same people every
partially
night.
true.
If
That's
you're also
partially
saying
true.
You're gonna
but
play all these guys.
that's partially true. I think TJD looking like a deer in headlights is what made them say, "Yeah, we ain't playing no big man tonight." If TJD looked good, I think they would have put Loon
And
in
I
he
don't.
over
I
he
don't
Wiggins.
think they
he
even
he's
have
still
any big men.
he's really still the question mark. Remember in the play-in last year, he played what for 4 minutes, and then Kerr was like, "All right, you got to get out of here. He's just not ready yet." So I mean, that's really the biggest thing. Obviously, he's only
That was
there.
also Kerr. That was also Kerr
Yeah.
playing him at the 4, a position he hasn't played since 5 years old. He
Yeah.
was playing
Didn't
him
he?
at the
Well, I
4.
think he played the 4 in
He didn't,
college, but
he
it was a
didn't
little bit
headlight him a
different.
lot, man. I think he did a capable job on the perimeter against Chet tonight. You know, it's not like he was just lost everywhere and not doing anything. Like y'all talking about him like a little. It's getting a little crazy. Like a
Nah,
little
I
too
don't
much,
have
guy.
any criticism of TJD tonight. I think the Thunder
Nah, you
literally
don't
No,
didn't
have
have
because
to.
any
it's
other
just
centers.
it's sometimes things are matchup dependent, and this wasn't a matchup suited for him. That's all.
Okay, so do you think Kerr was just following Mark Daigneault and just
Yeah,
going small
he was
because
just
he didn't
following
have a
him,
choice because
I
Mark didn't
think
have a choice,
he
that
or
Kerr
was.
looked at it and was like, we could play small ball better than they can.
Do you want me to tell you why you know that? Because he came with an all POA lineup in the second time after to end. Remember to end the first half, they put on
Mhm.
5 guards. So they said, okay, we're gonna take off TGD. We're gonna put GP2, Wiggins, and Melton all on one lineup.
Hey, Shadow.
Hmm
3 of Steph's 36 points were from the free throw line. 12 of Shea's 24 were from the free throw line.
Can you repeat that again? Say that 1,000 times for the people in the back, because I'm so sick of him.
Yeah, so Steph Curry had 3 of his 36 points from the free throw line. Shea had 12 of his 24 from the free throw line. A free throw merchant will never beat my team. Ever, 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 ever beat my team.
Motherfucker
Hey,
wasn't
doesn't
even getting
he?
fouled, bro. He wasn't even getting fouled. The refs were just giving it to him.
Shea
You
Untouched
saw
foul.
that
elbowed
Wasn't
foul?
even a
Wiggins
That
without a
foul
foul.
on
foul.
Like 3 of
Wiggins?
them.
Did you see that foul on
Urkel,
Wiggins where he shoved him?
he
He like
elbowed him. It
extended
was an
his arm and
elbow.
elbowed him, and then
Literally.
Wiggins got called for it.
Yeah, it's
I
insane.
gasped. I was like, that was ridiculous.
Last season, they called a foul on Wiggins after Shea threw up a shot after bumping him and then kicking him in the balls.
That shit was crow on crow crime, man.
Yeah, the refs, the way it's so crazy the way they
Oh my
blew the whistle
God.
against Shea, and then like Steph
Two
gets mauled at the
Canadians.
paint
Bro,
and
how
there's
many
no
close
call for
games
him.
has Denver won?
Call it even, man.
I mean, he was 6 of
Denver's a
17 from the field, SGA. I mean, 6 of 17. 6 of 17.
yeah.
6
That's
of
class right there.
17. Wiggins was 6 of 14. Okay. So, in terms of efficiency, you know, I don't know necessarily that this man is going into the paint thinking he's going to score. He knows, you know, his efficiency and whatnot. He's going into the paint to get contact. He's 90% from the free throw line, 27% from 3. He's not going to be taking outside shots. As a matter of fact, I don't necessarily think he's that great of a jump shooter. He's going to try to get into the paint, and he wants that contact. And you see how he looks for it. He's like James Harden inside the paint. Like James Harden, but inside the paint. All right. So I think Oklahoma City, right, as good as they are when they go and they play against whomever else in the Western Conference,